So tell us a little about Devil's Backbone. When were you guys founded?
We started a little over 4 years ago as a brew pub in right by Wintergreen, Virginia, which is a ski resort in the Blue Ridge Mountains. And the original facility, the brew pub, is about 40 minutes southwest of Charlottesville. When you come out there, you really understand, because I've been brewing professionally for 17 years. I've never seen a brewery with the nicest view as our original facility. And I like to say, if our original facility had $1 million view, our new bottling facility, our production brewery over in Lexington, has like a $900,000 view. So we have two breweries which are just mountain views, absolutely gorgeous locations. And, once you come out there, you really get it.
So Richmond and now DC, what's the next step now?
Hayes?
Hayes, after we conquer DC, where are we going next?
Well, I don't think we've conquered DC exactly. We are, in a craft brewery, you're in this constant battle to grow, but growth, when you're a big brewery like Anheuser-Busch or something and you release a new product and you sell 1 million barrels, it's like, great, we've got, we had a great new product. With us, if we roll out, we move into DC and everything goes really well, it's like,
now what?
we gotta buy some more tanks, or we gotta expand. Yeah. And so for us right now, it's really just about consolidating where we are. We're statewide in Virginia. Obviously, we're in DC, and we've started our sort of footsteps into Maryland. And over the next year or so, it'll definitely be a process of just getting more beer, more variety into more places in our current territory.
2013, that is the goal, is to cover Maryland.
Exactly. We've got 2 expansions planned this year, and we're going to break ground on a new building. So
wow.
Effectively,
we were just talking about a new building, and now there's another new building?
Well, it's been a week. A lot's changed since we talked last time. We've got beers, I think, that are uniquely approachable. That to me has always been one of the biggest reasons that they've been adopted so quickly. They are incredibly well-crafted, well-made beers, and if you really, really appreciate everything that goes into making a beer, these beers have it all. But if you don't know that much about beer, you can still put one in a pint, take a sip of it, and it tastes great, and that's all that matters, and that's fine, And so that's really what we're going for. It's that real depth of quality, but the approachability. Our name comes from way back in the 1740s when the Blue Ridge Mountains were, sort of the end of the known world. People had started filtering out west, but for the most part, those mountains were a pretty foreboding obstacle to exploration, basically. And so the Virginia House of Lords called up a guy named Peter Jefferson, who was Thomas's father and was sort of a famous explorer, cartographer in his own right. And they said, Pete, we've got a deal we'd like to offer you. We've got all this land out there, and we don't know what's out there. You can have 900,000 acres of it. They basically gave him 2 counties. If you'll just go and draw a map and let us know what's out there.
That's all I got to do.
Yeah. So he said, I think that sounds like a pretty good deal. So he got a team together, and they went out and they started exploring and mapping. And as they did back in the day, he kept a pretty detailed diary. And one of the entries in the diary, he talks about, we were crossing these ridges today, and some of our horses and our mules fell off the side of the mountain. And, today was a really awful day. It was like crossing the Devil's Backbones. And so we thought that sounds pretty cool.
Pretty badass.
Our brew pub's right there at the base of the mountain. The actual location is a little bit further north in the mountains, but it's where we're from. Again, Jason talked a little bit about the mountains, but you sit in our patio at the brew pub, and it's mountains, 360 degrees around you, and so it's pretty important to us.
So we're doing the Devil's Backbone Schwartz Bier. All right, so I'm going for it.
Go. Jump in.
Should I smell it first, right?
Yeah. When you taste a beer, 2 things. You're drinking out of the DB stainless pint glasses.
Which is fantastic. Look, it's not good for looking at the color, but I imagine this thing keeps it cold a good long time.
And they're just fun to drink out of, and then they're reusable, so they're 100% green, and then also they don't break.
You don't have to worry about glassing.
Exactly.
Yeah. So this is your upscale solo cup.
That's right.
Your solo cup on steroids. So okay, so I'm smelling it.
Yeah. So first thing you want to do, you can't look at it, but then you smell it, give it a little swirl, smell it, see what beer has CO2, so that really lifts the aromatics, up into your nose. So smell it, see what jumps out at you. I get a lager character from the yeast, but also some of those malty notes coming off.
That's what I was getting. Is the malty was the first thing that hit my nose.
And then pull it in your mouth, hold it for a second, and then swallow it. And the beauty about drinking beer is that you really do have to swallow beer to get the full effect of it.
This is fantastic.
Thanks.
I love this. This is fantastic.
We at the Craft Brewers Convention and at all the major brewing events, they always brew a beer, often a collaboration that is given to everybody that walks out the door. Beggars and Thieves is the name of the beer that we brewed together.
How would you get this if you were interested in attending one of the events?
So Beggars and Thieves will be on draft around town this week and next week at various locations, and I honestly can't call up where...
well, I put the whole schedule at dc101.com/Roche, so check that out, and it's got a list of everything.
I would also say to plug one of our partner breweries on this, DC Brow has it, so you can always get it there as well. But if you come out to any Devils Backbone events this week, you'll be able to sample it, and you may just happen upon it around town over the next few weeks. So definitely give it an order; it's great. Friday night at the 9:30 Club, we are sponsoring a really great show with a band called the Infamous String Dusters. If you come out to that, everybody that attends that is going to get one of these awesome upgraded solo cups that you referred to.
Solo cup on steroids.
Solo cup on steroids.
I've rebranded it to
exactly.
Solo cup on steroids.
But
so this is where we can get the cups.
This is where you can get the cups, and it's really there. We've started using these at a lot of our events and festivals as well, because if you've ever been to a beer festival, there's a lot of waste. You have everybody's throwing cups out and it's just sort of absurd. So this was a pretty simple solution to that. And so at our festivals, we've started using these nice reusable stainless steel pints, and you can take them home. And
they're unbreakable.
Yeah,
they're reusable, and you don't have to feel like you can't bring them out to a show and have a couple of beers.
Exactly.
So you can pick up one of these at the show.
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone who comes to the show on Friday night gets one of these.
Hayes, Jason, everybody from Devil's Backbone, thank you so much for coming in. I heard that you guys blew off the government to come in here to taste some beer.
We did blow off the government.
That's what I like to hear.
Don't tell anyone.
I will not tell anyone.
Nobody's listening, right?
No one is listening.
Thank God.
Thank you, guys. We appreciate you coming in and have fun this week in
Thanks
D.C.
for having us. We will.